Hello everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about leaks and updates and etc. I mean, if you're sub to the channel, you already know what we're talking about. So first, let's talk about the new camouflages that should hit the shop, or at least the game, in the 7.4 update. There are 4 of them that are mounted here on the Super Conqueror, so I don't really need to explain anything here, it's just aesthetics, so you just pause the video if you want to check them, and we are going to go to the second news. Let's keep going with camouflages because it seems like World of Tanks Blitz decided to collaborate with Cyberpunk for us to get those new camouflages you can see equipped on the Scorpion G here. Same as before, I don't really need to talk about that, it's only aesthetic, you like it or not, so let's go to the next news. In the 7.4 update, the FV215B is gonna receive finally a new camouflage that you can see equipped on it right now, and there are 2 different versions, one red and one blue. And personally, I think the red one is better, but it's only my opinion, so let's go for the next news. During the 7.4 update, Wargaming will release 2 new premium tanks. The first one is a tier 8 called the Centurion 5/1 RAAC that you can see on screen right now. Judging by its look, it seems to come with a legendary camouflage, and personally I think it's ugly as hell, but it's only my opinion once again. And for those of you curious about it, it's basically a tier 8 British medium premium tank, and it's pretty much a Centurion 1 on steroid because it features a way better mobility combined with a way better armor, especially on the turret. And the second tank that will come into the game is the T-44-85, a tier 7 Russian medium tank. It's basically a T-44 because you have the whole profile of the T-44, the same hull armor and the same turret armor, on which we mounted an 85mm gun that is featured, for example, on the T-34-85, the already existing tier 6 medium Russian tank from the tech tree. And I'm really expecting this tank to be a really good tank and a funny one to play on the battlefield. For those of you who love the Rudy, I think this tank will be made for you, but don't worry, in both cases concerning the Centurion and the T-44, I will buy both and I will test both so you know which one you should get. Next news is about Battle Pass, because I know we already have one that have been announced by Wargaming a couple of days ago concerning the Agent, the tier 6 VK2801, but they already leaked the upcoming Battle Pass of December, which should start the 1st of December, from the 1st to the 28th of December, if you really want the close dates. And as always, this Battle Pass is going to feature gold, etc, but we're going to focus a little bit more on what it brings new. And those new things are, first, those camouflages that you can see here, but also a new collectible tier 6 tank, the M4A3E8, which is the regular Tech Tree one, on which Wargaming added some cool attachment that makes it look like a deer from Santa Claus. So pretty cool. I don't think the tank is gonna change. It's gonna be the regular M4A3E8, but collectible, and therefore it will be a premium tank. But overall, concerning the gameplay and the game itself, it will not change anything, as I'm not expecting Wargaming to change the abilities of the tank. They might change 1 or 2 things, but it's not gonna make a huge difference, let's be honest. And finally, right now, we can focus on the most exciting news of probably the last 2 years, at least for me. The announcement, the official announcement of the TVP T50 51, a tier 10 Czechoslovakian tank and tech tree, so researchable, that is coming into the game. And oh boy, is this tank freaking good in World of Tanks PC. I don't know how it will perform in World of Tanks Blitz, and I don't know if Wargaming will make it a premium collectible or whatever, or if it's gonna be a regular tech tree tank for the moment, but I think this one is gonna be tech tree, because if they don't, people are really gonna get mad. It's quite a popular tank in World of Tanks PC, and it's not the kind of tank that is completely broken. I mean, it's a really broken tank in the hands of excellent players, but in the hands of an average player, it's just a good tank, but not much. For those of you who never saw this tank or didn't even heard about it, I'm gonna tell you real quick what this tank is capable of. When this tank is gonna be in the game, you can throw out your Batchat 25 ton because this tank does everything but in a better way. It has everything you need to play it like an angry mosquito, or maybe a mosquito that hit the gym 7 days a week or something. If I had to sum up real quick the statistics of the TVP and the main characteristics, because I played this tank in World of Tank PC, I would say the main thing and the most important one is that this tank had the fastest intra-clip reload in the game. Because as this tank features an autoloader, and usually autoloaders take maybe 7 seconds to unleash all their clip. If you look at, for example, the 50B, the T57 Heavy, those tanks take around 5, maybe 6 seconds to burst all your shells, and you have 3. Here with the TVP, it will take you between 3 and 4 seconds to sneak all your shells, and you have 3 of them. So just imagine 3 shells autoloader, so you will unleash in 4 seconds 3 freaking shells on your opponent, which means it's extremely hardcore when you're facing this tank to get away. If you are, for example, being tracked or something, you will not have time to repair your tracks, and this tank will burst all his shells straight into your tank without you being able to do nothing about it. The second main thing is probably its mobility. This tank is really close to the Batchat, or at least in World of Tank PC, because for the moment we don't really have any infos on the tank, so I don't know how it's gonna perform. But in World of Tank PC that was the case. This tank is extremely fast, going around 65 kilometers per hour, which is a lot considering it's a medium tank. Of course, that mobility comes with a price, which is no armor at all. Don't try to bounce shells, even in your gun mantlet, everybody will penetrate. As I told you, 3 shells autoloader, but what I didn't talk about is probably the gun depression, which is great. On this tank you are really versatile thanks to that gun depression, which allows you to work on ridge lines, on hilly terrains, etc, etc. It also features one of the best autoloader reload time in the game, simply because you have 3 shells that are not gonna do a lot of damage. But it's not a problem, because if you have 3 shells that don't do a lot of damage, if you combine all of them and you manage to penetrate all of them, it means that you're gonna have several big bursts for your tank, you know? So it's not really a problem to have a low burst as long as your reload time, the overall reload time of the autoloader, is not long. And for this tank, I'm expecting it to be maybe not even 15 seconds, maybe 12 seconds or something like that, which means you have an incredible DPM. But don't worry, you are gonna be able to fight against it pretty soon, because it's gonna enter the game, or at least for testers, it's gonna enter the game during the 7.4 update. And when I say it's gonna enter the game in the 7.4 update, I'm not telling you that the TVP is coming for the 7.4 update. I'm just saying that the tests are starting during the 7.4 update. So you're probably gonna encounter a lot of them, and we're gonna talk about that tank much later on when we'll have more informations. But the only thing I can talk about and show you right now is probably its armor profile, which will not change from World of Tank PC to World of Tank Blitz. As I told you, you are literally paper. There is no way you will bounce anything. Everything will penetrate you, tier 9, tier 10, whatever you're facing, even stock gun. There is no way you will be able to get some bounces. Maybe if you're extremely lucky around here, but even in the gun mantlet, I think everybody will penetrate. As I told you, a really great gun depression, 8 degrees, which will allow you to do the job. And be careful on your side, because it's an HE fest. This tank will be so freaking easily HE'd that it will make it really frustrating if you don't play it correctly. That's pretty much the tank for you. I could probably talk about the statistics, but I want to do a whole review of the tank, or what I'm expecting the tank to be, probably in another video that I'll do maybe during the week, or I'm probably gonna wait for the test to actually start for me to have an idea of what this tank is capable of. And I will come back soon on the channel to show you how strong or how bad this tank will be, because the statistics I told you about this tank in the past here, in like 2 minutes ago, those statistics are for World of Tank PC. In World of Tank Blitz, the developers are free to do whatever they want, so we might see one of the most broken tank in the game, but we also might see one of the worst. We will see what is the outcome. If this video was informative for you, feel free to subscribe, like, and share, and I'm gonna see you soon for a new one, probably tomorrow. See ya, guys.